What's going on, guys? Random Comic here. So today I've got my first impressions of the Medal of Honor Warfighter beta. I'd hate to call it a review just because a review basically implies that that's your final impression on the game and basically you put a stamp on it. That's how I feel. But for me, we've only had a day to play this beta and very limited access to what you can actually do. So we have one map, one game mode, and one class that we can actually progress in and unlock stuff in. And if you want to play all the classes vanilla and like play the Spec Ops guy and just use that one gun, it's weird because the game will unlock you a few things, but not as much as you can with the Assault class. Because I was running the Assault, I played like 2-3 games, it's just unlocking mad shit, you know? But then when I played the Spec Ops, I played probably the entire day, first day, using the Spec Ops class. I think I unlocked one attachment and one gun, and I think that's by mistake anyway. That's just like by default what your level is. It has nothing to do with the actual Spec Ops class. I think it had to do with once you hit this level, you probably unlock this gun. But in the Assault class, I just started unlocking like everything. So if you actually want to get a true progressing experience like you do in other games where you feel like you use a character and you progress in that particular class, play as the Assault, because if you're doing it wrong right now if you're playing with other classes. Even though I'm having fun with the other classes, I think some of them are more fun to play than this class. Play this one if you actually want to get that true unlocking experience and stuff like that and get used to how the game's actually going to progress. Another thing that I think that people are starting to struggle with this game is the recoil, because all the other games basically hand feed you and they just make it so you can hold down the gun and have basically no worries at all about recoil or where the actual bullet trails are going and stuff like that. This one, unless it's pretty much close range and even medium range, you really have to make sure you burst fire. And so like, even that gunfight right there, if I went full auto, I've had situations before I went full auto right on a guy's head and the bullet trails are just flying right over him, and I had like no hit markers on my screen, stuff like that, to actually indicate that I was getting shots on him and stuff like that. But I think that's basically it. You have to really know when you can actually go full auto, when you can be safe and just spray and pray up close and stuff like that. And really at extreme ranges, you can either switch to the single shot or just play with the trigger yourself, because if not, you're just going to be everywhere. And that's something you have to really, really early on get a grasp of, because if not, you're going to struggle really bad. And I got away with it at first. I was just holding down the full auto and going nuts, but I soon realized I was getting a lot more kills when I actually took the time to time my shots and, basically be a little bit more patient. Even when you're running and gunning, going full auto is not going to be, the best thing to do in that situation. So recoil is a huge thing. I think another thing people are not getting a good grasp of is this is, very similar to Battlefield. It has almost same exact visuals, because of course it's using the same engine, Frostbite 2, and they've had help from DICE. They said they had help from some of the senior developers to actually create this game. So the game is going to basically run well, and you don't have to worry about many mechanics. I think that's the #1 pro I've had that I can't bash anything on. I have absolutely no problem with how the game runs, and so far I've had just overwhelming praise, I could say, from a beta. It might be the best beta I've played so far, but I haven't ran into any issues yet that I'm aware of. They're probably out there. Only thing that does happen on occasion that I understand is losing connection to the servers, and that's just part of it, playing on EA servers. That just seems to happen more often. But playing the objective is something I don't think people grasp, because for the majority, and I hate to generalize, but this is the Xbox beta, most of the players actually playing this are going to be Call of Duty and used to playing basically run and gun by themselves, not having to worry about teammates and having to worry about objectives. But in this one, your success and how you do is actually really catered around teamwork. It has this fire team buddy system where if you don't have a buddy you're communicating with, getting health off of, taking ammo from, and I don't do it in this gameplay at all. I feel like you're playing the game wrong if you don't play like that. If you don't have a buddy you're actually communicating with, making sure he stays alive at times near the objective, and you're giving him health and ammo when he needs it, you're playing the game wrong, I think. And I kind of actually like that. It's forcing your whole team to actually try to play and communicate. And for the most part, even if you're like an Xbox Live party like me and my friend usually do, we're communicating the whole entire time. And if you're not doing that, it's a real shame because, this game really shines in its objective play and how people actually communicate. And that's how you just succeed and win, I think. And some people just can't get the grasp on that and don't want to play like that. But that's fine when the game actually releases and you have TDM and stuff like that, sector control. Those game modes, I think you can get away with it. But for the most part, this game mode is heavy on teamwork. Look at this good mortar strike call in. Called it in right on that camping guy in the tunnel. And I think one of my buddies actually right here is actually able to get the bomb off. And I just started using the assaulter class in this particular game mode. So you see me using the grenade launcher. I think that some of the other guys have pretty OP, what's it called? I forgot what they're even called, like skill actions or something like that. That each one is, unique to them. This guy has a grenade launcher. The engineer and stuff and the demo guy both have like these masks they could put on where they take like a crazy amount of damage. And the Spec Ops guy has like this wall hack like Blacklight Retribution where you can see through walls for like a split second, but it's not like a true see through walls. It kind of goes into a weird matrixy look like thing where you can't see all that well, but you could see like see through it, but they're just like blocks and pixels and shit. But there you go, guys. That's pretty much my first impressions. All pretty much good. Only negatives are things you just have to get used to. There's nothing really wrong with the game. And if you are disliking it, you have Call of Duty coming right around the corner. You don't have to worry about it. You have Halo 4, and you have great other games like Dishonored and Hitman coming out. So you don't have much to worry about. There's a lot of good games coming out. But thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.